Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see what Sivir is looking like, what cards we've got picked out here. Okay.
It is Aurora, okay?
I love to see, honestly, I think Aurora is so much fun because you just get to see the big boys come out to play. You've got that Dead Bloom Predator. You've got the Mind Splitter. And you know what I'm really interested in looking at here is the Last Rites. It's super duper fun to see some of the old cards that are in your graveyard come back out to play. But it is only when, I believe, when you conquer, let's see if we can get that Last Rites pulled up real quick.
It's when you conquer or hold.
When you conquer or hold, you may play a unit from your trash. So you may be able to kill that Dead Bloom. You may be able to kill that Mind Splitter, but we can get them right on back.
Yeah, and it's also it's kind of unique equip cost. You have to recycle 2 from the discard or from the trash, which is sometimes hard to do early game. It's more of a late game card. But the idea is that with Dazzling Auroras, you get your Mind Splitters from the deck, and then with this, you get your Mind Splitters from the discard or your Dead Bloom Predators. Looking at the deck list, those are the only 6 units listed in this deck. So very high-end Aurora build. And the reason to play something like Sivir instead of Misfortune for this strategy, a lot of people are like, again, Misfortune just gives ganking to your units. Isn't that more useful? Well, you can play things like Treasure Trove, and it doesn't, you know, de-accelerate your runes as fast because you recycle the Chaos rune and then tap this to kill it, and then you draw 1 and channel 1 rune, but then you also get the Sivir Legend passive to get a gold gear, so that in the future you have that gold gear to spend on stuff. So that's one of the big difference makers here, and even playing the Dazzling Aurora, when you play that, you can do the same thing. There's a lot of recycle costs associated with this deck, so having that legend ability for Sivir Battle Mistress means that you just theoretically will have access to more runes throughout the entire game than something like a Misfortune will.
Absolutely. I think we've kind of analyzed this Sivir enough. Let's get into your favorite, Renata.
All right, let's see what the list is. Oh, I'm already seeing some fun spice in this. So, okay, we got to break down a lot here. They're not on a lot of the tech that I am currently running, but they are on some fun things. Shen. I want to highlight that first. They have 2 Shens in the main deck. This is a fantastic card to help you hold points because Renata Chem Baroness Legend says whenever you hold a point, you can tap her, or exhaust her rather, and then channel a gold gear exhausted. So typically you want to hold.
Right.
Now, if you can hold with things like Shen, that means that you're just going to be able to get gold gears, and then as you get to that 5 points, typically it's 5 points unless there's Aspirant's Climb, but as long as you're within 3 of winning, all of your gold gears also give you an energy. That's the game plan of Renata, is get to 5 points and then just have fun with all the gold gears you've accumulated. Next thing I want to highlight, 3 Ornn in the main deck, because this deck builds a lot of gold gears.
Yes.
And if you choose to use those, so there's kind of 2 different thoughts. Either, I'm of the thought that gold gears are a resource to spend. Some Renata players say, no, gold gears are a resource to make an Ornn gigantic. And you just have 10 gold gears, play the Ornn, double deflect, 14, no power cost associated with Ornn. Just a really efficient unit at that point. So it seems like this player is going more towards the set up the Ornn to be a big hit, and even things like World Atlas to help buff him up as well.
Absolutely, but I kind of just want to point out, we know that the Sivir is playing Dazzling Aurora. She's got those bigger units, but we have that Hidden Blade. We have that Cull the Weak.
We have the Salvage.
We have the Salvage to deal with the Aurora itself, to completely eliminate it. Renata has the tools to combat this Sivir. And you know what? I think we're ready to go ahead and get into game. Let's see how this Sivir versus Renata matchup is about to play out.
Top 4 Vegas, Andre.
Round number 2 about to be underway, and it's thematic. The first round we saw a Ornn versus Lucian, so a slower deck versus a faster deck, and now we have Aurora, Dazzling Aurora Sivir build versus Renata Glasc, a slower deck versus a faster deck. Renata's goal is typically to get to that 5 points as fast as possible so you can have fun with all your gold runes. Sivir's goal here is to get to Dazzling Aurora as fast as you can, but you know what Dazzling Aurora kind of loses to? A 20-mite Ornn with double deflect. That's going to be actually really tough. So if Emotempest is able to get to like the ideal Renata setup, I actually kind of favor how the Ornn is going to impact this matchup because of the Renata build that he chose to go for.
Absolutely. And we've got Treasure Hoard as a battlefield for Emotempest. And we've got Sigil of the Storm for 20 Thunder 3.
That's a lot of Thunder.
That's a lot of...
And what's the 3 doing at the end?
It's actually 23 Thunders.
No, well, I imagine that there's 3 categories of Thunder. There's Thunder 1, 2, and 3. And
there's 20 Thunders times 3.
Oh, 60 Thunders.
60 Thunders. God dang. Well, we're fist bumping, and we're starting the match. He draws for turn.
Fist bump yourself, Reagan. I don't think that counts.
I did.
They can't see. I'm right here. I'm going to call you out on that.
He exhausts his 2 runes, and we're going to get the Plundering Poro to come out. Stack deck coming out early. 1 rune exhausted, and we're going to see what we...
This is typical for the Dazzling Aurora decks. You're just going to use your cards to cycle through your deck, try and ramp up your runes. Here we go, the Treasure Hoard. So again, this is one that costs 2 energy to play. Then you recycle a Chaos rune and kill it to channel a rune exhausted and draw a card. But because of the Sivir Battle Mistress, we also get to create a gold gear when that happens. So this is what I was kind of highlighting, is the difference between the Misfortune and the Sivir deck. Even the Misfortune will still play the Treasure Trove typically, but when you're going for the Sivir, it just gives you that advantage of now not decelerating yourself on runes on future turns.
And we got our first blood here from Emotempest, getting 2 gold gears and the first point of the game. Yeah, it looks like we're just starting strong. I haven't played against a Sivir after all of my Nexus nights.
It's not one of the more popular decks, yeah.
Yeah, I'm noticing that, and I just didn't know. Like, that was so much card drawing, doing, flipping, exhausting. But Emo is going to pass his turn, and it's going to go over to 20 here. He's going to channel 2 runes, ready his runes, and we're going to need to, ready the gear.
Ready the legend?
Ready the legend. We're going to sabotage here, though. Yep. So we're going to look at the cards of Emotempest.
There's the Ornn.
And any non-unit card, though.
So salvage is the big hit. I think that's the obvious choice. Hidden Blade's, I mean, there's an argument, but like the salvage can just deal with the Dazzling Aurora. You know you're on Dazzling Aurora. He's taking notes, is really smart, saying what is in their hand. But I want to keep track of that Ornn, because the Treasure Trove plus the Plundering Poro means that there's already 2 gold gears on the Emotempest side. Another Plundering Poro means that we're going to get a 3rd when we conquer, plus the Card Sharp will be a 4th. I imagine 20 Thunders will not opt to take one himself, giving 2 to Emotempest, but we'll see. But that Ornn's already looking at like about an 8 might, just by known information currently.
Absolutely, but this is exactly what Renata wants.
Oh, we also held, and we didn't use the Renata Legend. That happens to me all the time as well. So there actually could have been another gold there.
But I will say, this is still what Renata wants. We want to stack this gold. We want to collect this gold, stack up here.
That's good.
Oh, he's going to let him still
So we're outside the hold window, but again, good sportsmanship. I like that from 20 Thunder 3. Absolutely. Which, again, I still think is a 3rd category of Thunder, and there are 20 of them.
Maybe that's the 3rd category of, like, kindness Thunder.
True.
The Thunder has kindly rippled throughout this tournament.
Yes.
I love that.
Rumbling kindness. Not to be confused with the champion. We haven't seen him yet.
No.
All right, but again, the goal of the Renata deck is to score fast and get gold gears. We're doing that for Emotempest. So mission accomplished so far.
So much gear is on this board, and there is an Ornn in hand, and we're tapping or
probably Card Sharp,
3.
I imagine, because we saw the Card Sharp in hand. And again, if we just play the Card Sharp, we at least get 1 more gold gear.
Boom.
This is the gambit. Does 20 Thunder 3 want to take it? He has a choice. Does he accept the gold gear and give 2 to the opponent?
And that is not what you want to do.
You almost never want to do this against Renata. Pro tip: I play a lot of Renata. It is so the only deck that maybe would want it is like Aurelia, because you recycle a lot of power costs in Aurelia, but typically no. So I think that 20 Thunder 3 is doing some math here already.
He's doing it. Oh my gosh, that's so much gold gear, bro.
braver gamer than myself. I would not take that, but you know what? Props. So we're moving back to Plundering Poro because we want to re-trigger the Conquer effects of Plundering Poro plus the Conquering effect of Treasure Hoard. But we're not equipping the Cloud Atlas, the World Atlas to the Plundering Poro. I expected that because when you hold, then you get 2 more gold gears.
Oh, it comes out. The Dazzling Aurora is now on the board. And at the end of the turn, they can reveal cards from the top of their main deck until they reveal a unit. Now, he is going through a lot of good cards.
True.
Oh my God.
True, but you always get a good one. There's that Mind Splitter, and Ornn was not played earlier. This is the danger of the turn that Emotempest chose, as opposed to just playing the Ornn early, is that now 20 Thunder 3 has the opportunity to hit the Ornn. I think this is the correct call. Your Aurora will represent a Mind Splitter or a... I'm blanking on it, right? Dead Bloom Predator every turn regardless. So one Hidden Blade's not really going to put you that far behind.
Man, at this board state, there's just so much gold on the board. Holy moly. But we're channeling 2 runes. We're drawing for turn. We're readying our units.
And I believe we just held for a 5th point, if that updates correctly, which means that Renata's at the critical mass. I call this critical mass because hitting within 3 points of victory means that all of your golds now also give you an energy. You can, at a battlefield, just play your chosen Renata champion and then use her ability to just basically spend a gold gear to draw a card, because she has a 1 energy and 1 blue recycle cost to draw, and now you can just do that for every single gold. You can put 6 cards in your hand if you wanted right now.
Absolutely, and that is a lot of cards, but also a lot of gold that just got generated from the Plundering Poro, conquering there on the treasure.
Yep, I love this.
And
this
here
is
we are.
One of the coolest plays Renata can do, because again, this is, I think, the mark of like a really solid Renata player, is realizing you almost never get the additional points. She's got 2 effects. One is that you can exhaust her and spend 4 energy, 4 recycle cost to score a point. That almost never happens because you have to exhaust her, so she has to be ready at some point. The real thing that she does is every gold gear just becomes a draw, so she just draws you a bunch of cards.
Yes, and that's exactly what just happened. I think I saw 3 gold gear spent to draw 3 cards. It might have been 4. There was a lot of cards that were just drawn, and it looks like we're going to also hide a card on the battlefield of Treasure Hoard.
Yep, gonna go for another draw. I think at this point, if I'm Emotempest, seeing the matchup, you're probably digging for specifically the other Ornns, because we had 3 main deck. So 1's gone, 2 more are in there, but you also want enough gold gears up that the Ornn is a threat. So it's a delicate balancing act of like how to actually approach this.
And I may have seen the Ornn. I've got a keen eye for those guys. I may have seen the Ornn actually drawn for Emo, so it may have worked out.
You have been spotting all the Ornn
I have
draws.
been spotting the Ornns. But 20 Thunder 3, or as we like to call him, 60 Thunder, has a lot of runes up, but not, it was just thinking here. Just thinking here of what to do. We've got the 1 unit on the board. Do we want to move in? Do we want to do anything about that Plundering Poro on the top side?
Okay, so we're going to go in for the battlefield that has a stronger might currently.
Yes, and remember, there is a punch first for the side of Sivir, if possible. The Shin gets played out as reaction speed.
It will have shield 2 and tank, meaning it is 5 defending, so this Mind Splitter can only clear the Shen and a Plundering Poro. I think this is really, really solid, because also I'm assuming it's a Hidden Blade hidden there, but there's a lot of hidden cards that Renata can play, so it's not guaranteed. But that means that if, like, say, a Dead Bloom comes off of the Dazzling Aurora, then you can just use that at that point. So Emotempest is actually holding a lot.
Oh, and there it is. He knew what he was doing. And the Dead Bloom Predator does come out with 8 runes exhausted. 2 must be recycled for this. A little gold gear played to base here.
Yeah, because you have your, again, Sivir Legend. It's nice because you just get more access to runes more often, and a challenge.
And boom, there it is. 60 Thunder really popping off right now with the challenge going to, it looked like the Renata wants to get that off the board immediately.
Because if the Renata is ready at the start of Emotempest's turn, you can use that second ability, which, again, Renata players typically, like, if you can pull it off, you feel really good, because it's rare that you get to pull that ability off. There's so many sniping spells out there. It's really hard to actually keep the Renata alive to actually get that, and we're seeing why. Like, 1 challenge and it's gone.
And the Dazzling Aurora is going to trigger here, and another Mind Splitter is going to be played.
That was 2 challenges. So no more challenges available.
Yes.
Although Renata's already gone, so the damage might have been done, but more resources also taken out of Emotempest's hand now. That's a lot.
Whoa. So I'm looking at the Thousand-Tailed Watcher. Yep, we're going to get that out of there. It's just too powerful of a card.
Absolutely. Now, we do have an Ornn. You were right. So there was one in hand. Emotempest can at least establish that, probably back in base, because you want to keep it alive a little longer so you get more gold gears, because right now I believe it's only an 8 might. Actually, it would be 9, and then if you equip the World Atlas, that would be 11. And we just held another one, so that's 12. So if my math is correct, that should be a 12 might Ornn. That's actually pretty big.
That's a big boy.
That is a really big boy.
Yeah, but it stays true to what we see in League of Legends. Ornn gets pretty freaking tanky in League, so I love.
It's a little harder in Riftbound than he does.
Low key, yes, and boom, he is coming out to play, getting played directly to that treasure hoard, and we're gonna start adding that gear onto him just to make sure he's a little bit bigger.
Now, if Emotempest can hold 2 more turns, that's game. The thing is, with 20 Thunder 3's build, on this Sivir, you get like a Dead Bloom plus a Punch First. That should be enough to get through this. But there's still that hidden... Again, I'm assuming Hidden Blade.
We know it's a Hidden Blade.
Well, but the fun thing is we don't, because like Renata can also hide her signature spell. Hostile Takeover can just take a unit, and it's essentially a Hidden Blade. It doesn't kill the unit, but you also don't give them 2 draws. So like, it might even be better to do that. But there are options, and even like if you just have Hostile Takeover and you just take the Dead Bloom that's on this Sigil of the Storm, then you just go into combat, kill the Mind Splitter, and then win the game right there. So like Emotempest, there's a real world. We didn't see one with the Mind Splitter that 20 Thunder played, so it'd have to be like off the draw. But there's a real world that Emotempest could actually just win on this next turn.
Oh my goodness. So we're counting up. It looks like we might be trying to
get the dice.
Deal with the, we need the die. We need the die on the board.
Even when they're not playing Ornn. Ornn is inevitable.
Yes, honestly.
What's the Thanos quote? You went somewhere else, and where did it lead you back to me? I don't remember how the quote starts. But we're back to Ornn.
We're back to Ornn. That is the gist of the story.
It's always great when you start a joke and you forget where it's going.
The pun.
Like, there's no bailouts. You know, we're just kind of in the moment.
We gotta make it through there.
Yeah,
we gotta
make it through.
Okay, Boots of Swiftness is getting played with 3 runes exhausted, and we're gonna equip that to the Mind Splitter. Now with Boots of Swiftness, you do get ganking, and that Mind Splitter is gonna move right on over into that Ornn, into that card sharp.
Double card sharp.
Yeah.
That's the Ornn. So that's 6 might on the card sharps, and I think it was like around 13. I'm blanking now on where it was for the Ornn before. But he's big. I imagine that this is just going to clear the card sharps unless there's like a punch first, but it seems like 20 Thunder 3 actually passes Prio, so it's just going to be the 2 card sharps.
And I honestly, I'm kind of interested into the game plan from 20 Thunder 3 here, because that is the second Mind Splitter that we have sacrificed just to kind of try and clear the board. So I'm intrigued. I'm ready to see the Sivir coming out to play, and we're going to immediately equip those Boots of Swiftness again to the Dead Bloom, and we're going back in with the Dead Bloom and the Sivir to try and take down this Ornn. What is going to be the response from Emotempest? We're flipping. It's the Hidden Blade immediately on that Dead Bloom Predator.
Tough. Interesting that 20 Thunder 3 felt the need to go so aggressive right there. So we're accelerating the Sivir and sending it in. Sivir Mercenary has Accelerate, and then if you spent at least 2 power this turn, it gets +2 might and ganking. So that was representing a strong push, but I guess it's kind of the same mentality I was talking about earlier. It's like you might know your opponent has an answer, but you got to chew through it eventually. And here we go. We do get a Dead Bloom. I imagine we're just going to play this to base because it should not have enough to deal with the Ornn on its own. And yes, it is just in the base for 20 Thunder 3. Sorry, 60 Thunder.
60 Thunder. But we also did get to see the treasure come out as well. So he has that resource if he needs it. We're passing the turn. Emotempest getting his runes channeled, and we're drawing for turn.
Yeah, you spotting those cards? I know you're always eagle eye on.
I'm trying so hard. I do think I see a Hidden Blade.
He's shuffling.
I think he has I think he has a Hidden Blade in hand, so something could be coming. But we're just gonna exhaust. Oh, okay. So we're exhausting 4. Yeah, we've got 2 units on the board.
So Watchful Sentry, the reason to place it at the battlefield is because Death Knell draw a card. You kind of expect it to die, and you want the resource. And the Honest Broker, Death Knell channel Gold Rune, we're going to try and send that into Sigil of the Storm, I imagine. on the next turn, or just hold for the game. Like 20 Thunder 3 is in a really precarious position right now because you have to stop this hold or the game will end on Emotempest's beginning phase.
Exactly, and we only have that Dead Bloom Predator to work with. Now we can equip the Boots of Swiftness to give it a little more might to make him a bigger boy. It looks like we're getting the the damage ready over here.
Have we done the math yet? What's the Orn at here? I got it. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus 2 is 9, so 13. No, don't.
Y'all can't see it, but I did it. You know exactly what I did.
And that's not the first time today,
it's not.
too. I think you get one per day these days.
Give me 6 or 7. 6, 7.
I'm gonna need to get out of here.
Production is in my ear talking about 6, 7.
Oh no. Oh no.
Anyways.
It's happened already. I didn't think it would be on round 2 that we completely devolved. But okay, so let's get back into the game.
Let's get into the game. So a Mind Splitter comes out yet again. And it looks like we're going to be responding with, I can't quite.
No, I think he discarded the Wages of Pain.
Gotcha.
I think that's what the Mind Splitter hit, because that's an action speed spell, so you wouldn't be able to react with it. But I think 20 Thunder 3 is in a really bad spot. Like, I don't even know what you could be hoping for. Okay.
Okay.
So ride the win the Mind Splitter in 2. This is now 15. We did not equip the Boots of Swiftness, which would be the way to buff this up more. But actually, is it enough anyway? What was the Orn? I think it was a 13. Was that my math? Maybe I'm just wrong on the math.
Oh, we cleared it.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I was wrong. So I had 1 gold gear off. So yeah, that does all just crash. Interesting we didn't put the Boots of Swiftness on, because again, I think we could have actually
saved at least
one of those units, gotten the point.
A point, yeah. And then there's not much that a 2 might on the board would really be able to do against.
We're out of units. So we saw 3 Dead Bloom Predators.
Yes.
We saw all 3. Did we see all 3 Mind Splitters?
I think we did.
Okay. So that means that 20 Thunder 3 is out of units. Maybe has 1 in hand if my math is wrong, but that means that you need specifically Last Rites. But we have no units. Even the Sivir's gone. So I don't think it's possible for 20 Thunder 3 to come back.
What do you even do once Aurora has you drawing all of your cards?
You cry.
Oh, wow.
I think that's the technical response.
So the deck is just
There's nothing else the deck does, yeah.
Okay, so he's got his cards in hand to work with, and we've got the Plundering Poro coming out on the side of Emotempest, and all he needs to do is conquer both battlefields. So he's got 1 more turn, correct?
Either conquer both or just hold this. So, and this build of Renata didn't have a lot of ways to accelerate in. And it looks like, yep, we're just going to establish 2 more units and pass. So unless 20 Thunder has a way to stop
this. Got to do it here.
I don't think he's got any more units left. Unless, again, maybe there was 1 in hand if the math was wrong. Like, maybe you have a Mind Splitter in hand. I only remember 2 hitting the board, but also notoriously memory of a goldfish, so do not trust my memory.
Well, he's counting up these runes, and we're not quite able to see his hand here.
He doesn't have enough for a Ride the Wind plus Mind Splitter anyway, so it'd have to be Dead Bloom. And he did. And he did have a Dead Bloom in hand.
There's the Dead Bloom.
Again, do not trust my memory. It is notoriously bad. And he had the unit, so this game is still going to continue. Aurora will do nothing, but at least we got the Dead Bloom out there. 20 Thunder is still kind of in this. And with the Swifties, I mean, you can actually kind of control the board. If we get to that Last Rites, we can get back Dead Blooms and Mind Splitters from the discard. Okay, maybe I counted 20 Thunder 3 out too soon.
Yes, no, it looks like we're just going to try and take a mental note of what's in the trash, of what could come back, or maybe even what is in hand. I am also curious to see when those Boots of Swifties will come through, because the Dead Bloom could also be conquering with the ganking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get more points. So
you're able to move around. Okay, so we're going to try and clear this.
All right.
Wage of Pain will do 3 damage. There is a deflect cost, and Singularity will clear it, and that should be enough. 20 Thunder 3 is tapped out. There are 2 units on Emotempest's field, and nothing to stop this double conquer.
All right, so they're
just going to scoop. Yep. 20 Thunder 3 realized the situation. Well played from Emotempest. Had the outs to do enough damage to that Dead Bloom. And playing through the Aurora deck in a very efficient style.
Absolutely. And I say we can't count out 20 Thunder 3 from this entire series, because now you can go into your side deck. But let's look at the battlefield.
I'm just
here.
laughing at that. Yeah, double Pile Maw's Lair. That's pretty funny.
I love to see it. We're side decking here. We're making sure that we're ready to go. I love the whole fact that we can side deck because you know what your opponent is playing. You know what they've got, and now it's time to put together that battle strategy into how can I come back into game 2 and make sure that I take this to game 3.
Yeah, you're looking at things like salvage in the side deck of the Renata as you just gave a wave to Emotempest. Actually, you know what? I just realized we assumed, is it Emotempest or is it Emotempest?
You know, see, I was reading it earlier, and I was like, oh, no, that's a emo. That's a Emotempest.
Okay, so we're still on the first.
I'm definitely set on. You know what, Barrett? Can you interview Emotempest at the end of this, win or loss, and get us a clarity on? You know what? We actually need both of them. Can we call him 60 Thunder?
Ooh, we got a lot of questions.
I need to find both of them after this.
Well, we'll track him down.
Okay, so we're starting off with a tutoring Yordle on the board on the side of Emotempest, and we're getting the we're getting Immobilize as well.
Playing the Pack of Wonders means that we're able to return another gear to our hand, so we're able to cycle our gears multiple times, and then we're also playing the Mobilize. So we're just trying to ramp up our runes as fast as possible for 20 Thunder 3.
I'm rooting for him. The Lecturing Yordle is going to move into the battlefield, and a World Atlas is coming out on the side of Emotempest, and we're also getting that Plundering Poro, so we will be able to stack up that gold on the side of Renata coming here soon.
Now, we are already, okay, we didn't have it. I was going to say, we're already in Aurora range. Actually, no, that was only, was that 8 or was that 9? Why can I not even count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we were not there.
We were not there.
We're close.
We're close. We did just use the stack deck to look at some cards, and I do think I saw 2 Mind Splitters there. I'm not sure what he did with it. But then we're also, I just love how many cards are being played on this turn.
I love this combo.
Treasure Trove.
Whenever it leaves the board, you draw 1 and channel 1. So even if you add it back to your hand with Pack of Wonders, it still triggers. And now we can do it again, and then we can trigger it.
Oh, and then the stack. Okay, this is giving into Draven territory here. Like all of the cards that are being played right now. Oh my gosh. But finally, we are going to exhaust 5 runes. It looks like, oh, just 1. And we're going to sabotage.
Yeah, trigger the Sivir Legend ability as well, making a gold gear. And let's get a look at that hand.
Yes. So we've got the Hostile Takeover, Cole the Weak, Lecturing Yordle, and Ornn. He always comes out to play everywhere.
I imagine you're looking at Cole the Weak, because Hostile Takeover is annoying, but at least you get the unit back. Oh, he's going for the Hostile Takeover. Okay.
And Hostile Takeover does go ahead and leave the board. Going to recycle that.
The reason I think that the Hostile Takeover isn't as threatening is because, first off, Hard Bargain is easier to pull off against it because it's a more expensive cost.
Yes.
Number 2 is that you keep the unit, whereas Cole the Weak, like, you deal with the Mind Splitter, you deal with the Deadloom Predator without even targeting it for the deflect cost. So interesting that 20 Thunder went that route, but either way, Emotempest is just going to keep playing this game.
Absolutely, and the Plundering Poro does move in to secure a point, a conquer point, and Ornn comes out to play immediately, equipping that gear to make him a little bit bigger. And I think we're, okay, so we're recycling for that, and we're hiding the card.
So we don't know what that hidden is, right? We had seen Ornn, Hostile Takeover, which is now gone, Cole the Weak, and I'm blanking on what the other one was. I think it was a unit, though, so this must be something that was off the draw here. But Ornn's going to get pretty big regardless. Nice setup here for Emotempest.
Absolutely. We're channeling those 2 runes on the side of 20 Thunder 3. We're counting up to make sure that we've got the accurate amount of numbers.
Should be a 9 might currently because the World Atlas gives 2, and the Ornn passive will give 3 for the total gears on the field, on Emotempest field.
Yes, yes. And we're just thinking, what do we want to do? Honestly, I respect how close 20 Thunder 3 holds his cards to his chest because oh, Dazzling Aurora comes out to play. So we're going to start seeing those bigger units here.
Yeah, this is the ideal time to get it. You're on curve for it, and you've already dug enough into your deck. So as a Dazzling Aurora player, when you're down, honestly, this isn't even down that many points because we accelerated pretty fast into this. So Emotempest should theoretically get to 5 on these 2 holds unless you get a Dead Bloom off the top. And the Sabotage number 2 means that that Cold a Week is now gone as well. That is very, very good for 20 Thunder 3.
Yes, I'm assuming that he knew that card was in his hand and was ready to take out both the Hostile Takeover and the Cold a Week.
I will say important for Emotempest that that's a Mind Splitter you're looking at and not a Dead Bloom. Because if Dead Bloom takes out the Plundering Pourer, you're only at 4 points. You don't have the Renata additional value off of the gears anymore. But now because we held for 5, all those gold gears will give an energy and a power, and this is where Renata really starts to come online. We saw what he did last time with the Renata play, where he just plays it and draws a bunch of cards. We could see that again. It's only going to be 2 because there's only 2 ready gold gears, but it's an option because Emotempest lost his entire hand. It's only this card on the draw here, and we're going to play it.
We're going to play that card sharp. And yes, Renata, I feel like, is just one of the best users of this gold system in Spirit Forge. 100%. Just makes it so valuable. Really turns that gold into gold. I'm so for real.
And that's it. So just the card sharp pass. Now, I think that's a Lecturing Yordle. I don't remember what the might is of the unit under the Ornn, but I'm going to assume 2, and Mind Splitter's just not going to go
That's a
anymore.
gear. There's a gear. Oh, you're talking about that one. I see. Yeah. But another oh my God.
That's pretty good.
2 Dazzling Auroras?
I would say that's ideal for the Dazzling Aurora player. Once you get 2 of these online, the game gets very crazy. We're going to have Mind Splitters and Dead Blooms.
Oh, we passed the 3rd Dazzling Aurora, though. But the Dead Bloom Predator is going to come out to play.
Honestly, you usually don't even want the 3rd Dazzling Aurora. When you're only on 6 units in the deck, now you want to get to your last rights. That's the next big hit. So we'll note it. Yeah, there's one.
There it is.
Another Dead Bloom. So I believe there are 2 last rights in the deck list. So 20 Thunder 3 is going to want to find that next one fast because if you cycle that again, it's going to be a while until... Well, I guess Aurora kind of just cycles everything every turn, but once you run out of units in the deck, then last rights gets them back from the discard pile. So...
Yes, absolutely.
The trash, rather.
All right, so we're going to get 3 more gold tokens here.
Playing them both to base, because they would happen one after the other, and sending one to just die to the Lecturing Yordle and the card sharp trade. Probably not the best. You can instead try and swing in on the next turn into the Ornn. So now it's on Emotempest to try and make that less enticing.
Exactly. Now, do not forget that we still have this Boots of Swiftness on the board. There's a lot of movement that can happen on 20 Thunder 3's next turn. We're counting up some might here.
That's a lot of ready gold gears. Whoa.
That's so much, my word. And we've got 1 card in hand, it looks like, for Emotempest. Curious to see as to what he is planning to do.
I'm imagining it's play your chosen legend. Renata, draw at least a couple of cards because we're so low on resources. And if that's like a hidden blade hidden under the Ornn battlefield, you kind of want to save that for the Dead Blooms coming in.
Exactly.
Or even like a hostile takeover too. Like there's other stuff to use it on. So here we go. This makes a lot of sense to me. It feels like the obvious option, not knowing what's in his hand, of course.
Yes, and with those 5 runes exhausted, we're going to go ahead and move Renata out to the battlefield, and then we're going to start digging. Just digging.
Look at all these draws. And people said Renata's weak.
Yeah.
What other legend, or other chosen champion, rather, can draw like 5 cards in one turn?
Exactly. And another Plundering Poro is going to come out to play, so we're just exhausting those 2. And Cole the Weak. Only 2, oh, no, he's got the Mind Splitter as well. So, going to get that off of the board. I was going to say, one of those Dead Blooms got to go, but I forgot about the Mind Splitter up top.
Interesting. I guess the math-wise, he just wants the Lecturing Yordle to stay. Because I was thinking you can just kill the Lecturing Yordle and then threaten the Conquer on the next turn. Because I'm assuming both Dead Blooms are going into the Ornn pile. But Emotempest instead opting to just try and make this hold as strong as possible. I believe that's 2 cards in hand plus 1 hidden. Maybe 1 card in hand plus 2 hidden.
Yes, I do believe you're correct.
And again, for 20 Thunder 3, I think the game plan for the Aurora deck at this point is try and get to last rights. We got the 2 Dazzling Auroras. We don't need to get more units or more Auroras. You need to get that next gear so that you can get the units back from the trash, because otherwise you're not really going to have access to them. And you only have 6 units plus your chosen champion. So you will run out eventually, kind of like we almost saw happen in that game number 1.
Exactly, and it appears that this Ornn has become a pretty major problem. Some of his might was gone away when we were drawing for the cards off of the Renata, but it looks like we might be able to do something. Okay, Sivir coming out. We're going to conquer. And
so I guess
go through.
That's one of the reasons maybe Emotempest opted to take out the Plundering Poro back in base, because Sivir can take this. If my math's correct, Ornn should be 14 might, and this is 16 plus the... actually, we're going to do a challenge. I think that's taking out the Renata right there.
And that's a good card to get out. It looks like the... Yeah. Okay, so that's going to die. Getting the damage done here, I think we really want to get rid of this Ornn, it looks like.
Yeah, and Sivir still had the +2 might boost because he recycled 2, or spent 2 power this turn. And we're going to send the 16 in. Again, not equipping the Swifties, so it's just 8. Plus 8 is 16 going in, and there's one hidden blade.
The hidden blade does take out one of the Dead Bloom Predators. And what is next up your sleeve, 20 Thunder 3? I like the gameplay. Like, I'm intrigued.
Okay, again, I think that the math is right to kill the Ornn, but the problem is if you leave this Renata up, Emotempest holds for 7, Renata can score for 8. Yes. So you're kind of... Oh, also there's tank on the Lecturing Yordle. So, okay, you don't have enough because the Swifties. But I guess you're just going to hidden blade the one equipped the Swifties, so you can't really prevent that, but...
Right.
It's making things very awkward for 20 Thunder 3 here. Has another challenge. That's big.
Okay, so it looks like we're challenging the Dead Bloom Predator to the Renata. And that is going to go through. The Renata is going to go through. And that, I knew he had something up his sleeve. That's what I'm talking about, 60 Thunder 3. And the punch first is going to come through, making +5 might go on to that Dead Bloom Predator.
13, you got to do 8 more to the Ornn, +3, +2, so 5 and 8 is 30. That should just clear. I think that actually just clears everything. Emotempest is going to be down to 1 card in hand. The Dazzling Aurora should still hit a Mind Splitter, which can rip that. Oh, this is a massive push for 20 Thunder 3.
And I think I see the 3rd Dead Bloom in his hand. Am I tripping?
Oh,
I think I see the 3rd Dead Bloom in his hand, y'all. I'm really spotting these units. If y'all need me to spot some units, I got you.
Yeah, you're really good at that. So again, I'm just doing the math. There's 8 gears plus 2 from World Atlas is 10, so 14 might Ornn. 8 might still has to be dealt to it, or 8 damage because of the 6 from the challenge. +3 + 2 is the 13. And Dead Bloom is 8 + 5 is 13. So according to my math, this should just crash everything in.
And everything is gone.
And if that is a Dead Bloom in hand, then that means that it's guaranteed to be a Mind Splitter, because we've seen 2 Dead Blooms already. If there's one in hand, then there's no more in deck. That means Mind Splitter is the only unit that can get hit from deck, which will hit the last card in Emotempest's hand.
Oh, there's that.
There it is.
Rights, and there's the... Have we cracked the code? Oh my goodness. So the Mind Splitter comes out.
Oh, when we had 2 Dazzling Auroras. I forgot about the second one.
Shoot.
Overkill Mind Splitters.
Yes, this could be a turning point here. We are going to pass the turn. Emotempest going to draw for turn. That's his only card. And we're passing right back. There's no units on the board.
That's disastrous. I think Emotempest's news is going to get even worse, because like the outs at this point would be like a Thousand Tail Watcher.
Yeah.
But if 20 Thunder 3 does both Auroras, doesn't reveal a unit either time, Emotempest then should know that that last Dead Bloom is in hand. So then like the Thousand Tail push won't even do anything, because the Dead Bloom will just come back. Actually, you can put the World Atlas on him, and then that's a 9 might. Okay, Emotempest might still have outs, but we did see 1 Thousand Tail discarded from an earlier Mind Splitter, and only 1 was main deck, so that would require side deck Thousand Tails. It's not impossible, but it's very tough for Emotempest to come back.
And with those ready Mind Splitters, we are going into Conquer for both points. And we're seeing if there's any response. Not quite.
He's got more Ornns, and I guess you still have 1 more turn at least. So, like, maybe you can just establish another big Ornn. I'm trying to, like, my brain is being racked for what outs does Emotempest have at this point. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any more units.
Right.
So we're just going to have to trigger this twice, and it would just be, yeah, shuffle, and then technically we do it again, but, like, I guess there's not really a reason to. Yeah.
I'm curious to see if they actually do it.
That'd be pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
Just, you know, let's just double check. Let's just make sure that there's no units in there.
So it looks like we're going to split that.
So hard bargain, did you see the other card in hand?
I did not.
Okay. Hard bargain's not going to do it.
Hard bargain is not going to do it. It looks like
card sharp. Oh, it's Echo Recurrent. Okay, so this is a 5 energy, recycle 1, 5 might. It can go in accelerated, and Death Knell, recycle this to ready all your runes. So we can equip the World Atlas. It becomes a 7, and then at least crash with one of these Mind Splitters.
Okay.
That'll slow down the game, because then 20 Thunder 3 will only score 1. Ah, no, he's got this with. Okay, so he's still going to score 2. This has not solved the problem, but it has helped.
Comeback mechanics are going
crazy.
Oh,
he's not going to accelerate it.
Nope. So that is going to be 2 more points for holding on 20 Thunder 3. It is now 6-6.
You know what? Maybe he's thinking if I get the Thousand Tail later, I can accelerate that and take both and win the game.
Ooh.
Potentially, that's the call for Emotempest.
Okay.
You see it on screen there? Okay, so the Sabotage is going to get rid of
call.
this card.
Yep. So he will have no cards in hand.
Yep. Be off the draw.
All you can do is cross your fingers and hope. We're tapping 2. We're recycling 1 gold to... Sabotage going off of the board.
I mean, there's ways to insulate this as 20 Thunder 3. If you read the Thousand Tail, you could also just play the Dead Bloom. Or just, yeah, this works too.
And we're just going to go ahead and handle that situation. We don't even want to.
Hey, you ready the runes? You know, Death Knell. I think actually that should be recycled, that Echo. But yeah, you know, I don't think it'll change the game state.
The Swifties get equipped to the Mind Splitter. And there's
we got
the last rites. Oh my gosh, is that the nail in the coffin? We're equipping the last rites, and we're shuffling. What do we want? What do we want? The Dead Bloom Predators.
Oh, and we not only get to equip the last rites, the equip cost is recycle a Chaos Rune, and then also recycle 2 units, or sorry, 2 cards from your trash. We can recycle 2 Dead Blooms, so now these double Auroras will just automatically get these 2 Dead Blooms.
Yes.
So these just basically hit the field. Like, that's essentially what's happening. He's talking with the judges. I think technically you should go through the process here.
Right.
If we shuffle the deck, that's basically the same thing, because we have 2 Dazzling Auroras that will guaranteed hit the 2 Dead Blooms, and then we shuffle up, and then that's it. So it looks like Emotempest is taking the scoop.
Well done. So we are going into that 1-1 situation where it all rides on game 3. I love to see it. That was a real good comeback. They really hit the cards that they needed to. And it looks like we're getting Aspirant's Climb for game 3 and the Paper Tree for Emotempest.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, we're going to 9 this time.
Going to 9, and Paper Tree is one of those interesting ones where a lot of folks, I'm blanking on the name of the Origins battlefield, but the one that says hold and channel rune exhausted. I was one of the many that was confused when they read Paper Tree, like, wait, this is just worse. But the idea is that if your opponent holds it, and you're expecting your opponent to be able to hold, then you also get a rune exhausted.
Yes, indeedy.
But with the Renata, your goal kind of is to hold, so interesting that Emotempest went for this. Regardless, I'm expecting accelerated runes and a longer game because of Aspirant's Climb. That's kind of the theme of these battlefields right now.
Yes, and Emotempest going ahead and channeling those 2 runes, immediately exhausting them, and we're going to play the Broker.
First 2-cost unit, pretty good for the Renata. You want to hit one of these. Ideally, you want the Plundering Poro, but this one's fine too. And also not a bad start for the Sivir. We saw this in game number 1. You get the Treasure Trove, you get to channel a rune, so you're the same runes, but you also get that Sivir Legend passive to get a gold gear, which I don't think triggered.
And we're going to go ahead and try and conquer, but nice. 20 Thunder 3 said, back to hand. Back to hand with you, with Gust. And then Lecturing Yordle will go ahead and enter the base for Emotempest with 3 runes exhausted.
Yeah, you feel really good as the Dazzling Aurora player to just stop the ramp, the point ramp of your opponent. especially against Renata, because again, we talked about how strong Renata is when you get to typically the 5 points, but because of Aspirant's Climb, it's actually 6 now, because it doesn't say once you have 5 points you get the passive. It says once you're within 3 points of winning, and Aspirant's Climb delays that a little bit. So it's a really tough battlefield for Renata specifically to play against, and this is a really strong Sabotage.
Absolutely. We see the Salvage. Ow. We see the Cold the Weak. We
what a
see
hand.
the Hidden Blade. Oh my goodness.
That's insane.
World Atlas, I can't quite see what...
He's got 4 answers. 4 answers to Aurora, guys. Like,
yes.
Hidden Blade, Cold the Weak, Imperial Decree, which is a hefty cost, but like you're happy to do it if it clears off 2 battlefields. Yeah. And the Salvage, I think the Salvage is still the correct call. I agree with 20 Thunder 3 here, because like you need the Dazzling Aurora to go off. At least the other things answer the unit, but you need to get rid of the thing that answers the Dazzling Aurora. But you still don't feel great looking at the rest of that hand.
Holy moly. Yeah, that's a powerful hand. So you got to be a little bit terrified going into this. But the Lecturing Yordle is going to go in and conquer for the first point of the game. And then we're going to get a 2-might unit on board. Go ahead and equip the World Atlas. We're making some moves here.
Now, if we can hold with the Renata Legend passive, we get 3 gold gears, because World Atlas will give us 2 and the Renata will give us 1. That is really, really solid.
That is prime Renata gaming, but 20 Thunder 3.
Real estate.
You know, the gold, I guess it could work. The
Renata State? Prime Renata.
Renata State.
Yeah, there was something there. It's okay.
Sivir is going to come out to play, and we're going to start a showdown of the Lecturing Yordle and Sivir up here on Aspirant's Climb.
Okay, so is this a trade? Oh, no. Sivir does recycle 2 when you accelerate, yes, because there's the power cost for her own cost, and then the accelerate power cost. She is a 6-might going in currently, and it will clear out the Lecturing Yordle.
Yes, so
I always forget she has a power cost associated with her, but she's very effective at just setting herself up.
Exactly. So now we've got the points evened out with a 1-to-1. Sivir is exhausted on that top battlefield.
Now, there's always a trade-off, because using the Sivir this early, this is like your big way to get in there fast, outside of the Dead Bloom Predators, of course. But also sometimes it's nice to save the Sivir, because if you run out of units from all of your, Dazzling Auroras, then this is your last one. Use it early, and it denies a point from Emotempest and denies 3 gold gears, which is really good. So I still like the 20 Thunder 3 win for this, but I just like to highlight that it's never just a positive. There's always kind of a trade-off to these types of plays. Especially when it's going to be a late-scoring game. We are going to be expecting to go into late game, and I see a second Cold of the Week in the hand for Emotempest. So a lot of removal options right now on the Renata side, and that is going to be tough for 20 Thunder 3 to deal with. But Emotempest not going to use any right now. Going to instead maybe try and hold again here with the Honest Broker instead to get some of those gold gears and get some of those points. Because theoretically, like the Cold of the Week is a efficient combo with the Honest Broker. You both kill a unit and you get your Death Knell effect. You're really only hitting the Sivir. So, another Sabotage though. 1,000 Tails in the hand, but you can't hit that. And now you see as 20 Thunder 3 that there's even more bad news for you. A second Cold of the Week has landed into Emotempest's hand alongside the Hidden Blade and the Imperial Decree that we already knew about. So it's going to be the Hidden Blade. That's the guaranteed hit that is, less resource intensive on Emotempest's side, because you don't have to sacrifice one of your own units. But key information as well, because the best part about Sabotage is not just you get rid of the card, but also you get information. You know that there's not a lot of units, and now this is a very efficient challenge, because it deals with the only unit on the field for Emotempest, and just 1,000 Tail in hand can be kind of tough for the Renata to use this early. You kind of want to save that for bigger swings later.
Absolutely, and it looks like we're starting to ramp up those points on the side of 20 Thunder 3. We are now at 3, and Emotempest is going to start his turn by channeling those 2 runes. We're immediately calling the week, and yes, Sivir is getting out of there. We don't want any more hold points.
Did he draw a unit? He did not. That's a salvage. So Emotempest did not get a unit. And usually you're only on 2 Sabotages. I think we've seen both there for 20 Thunder 3. So yeah, there's the Dazzling Aurora. I think Emotempest actually feels really good here, because a unit's going to come out on the start of your turn, immediate Sabotage, or rather, why am I blanking on the name right now? I just said it.
Cold of the Week?
Nah, the Salvage. There we go. Thank you. Salvage, Sabotage, they sound so similar. But, it's the Mind Splitter. So we can actually hit it. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is lucky.
That's big.
That's
you're really hoping for the 50-50 and that they hit the Dead Bloom, but Mind Splitter does put a wrench in the salvage plan, and that's now 2 salvages down.
Absolutely, and I'm sure 20 Thunder 3 is feeling good getting that card out of hand, but we're going to call the week immediately, get that Mind Splitter off the board. We don't need any more points on the side of 20 Thunder 3.
And I'm greatly favoring 20 Thunder 3's position. As the Dazzling Aurora player, you have more points than your opponent, 3-2.
Yeah.
You've completely taken the steam out from the train of Renata. You're not even close to the Renata passive coming online to give you the extra energy. And also, there's only 1 gold gear anyway. So, like, at this point, Dazzling Aurora, you just play a big unit every turn.
Yep.
And you just win the game, basically. Like, it's so hard for Renata. And this is part of the weakness of Renata, is if you don't get the gas, if you don't get going, oh, it can really be tough to actually get off the ground and make a comeback. She's not really built for comebacks. She's built for like fast, aggressive play and big swings early in the game.
Exactly, but with those 5 runes exhausted, Echo is going to be played to the base of Emotempest. So I see we have the Thousand-Tailed Watcher, but we're going to go ahead and pass over to 20 Thunder 3, and you know exactly what's going to happen. He draws, we're channeling 2, and we're going to see another big might boy at the end of this turn.
Expecting, yeah, from the Aurora, it looks like 3. So there's the last rights. We had not seen this established early in either game 1 or 2, but now we're going to see the strength of this. It not only gets a Mind Splitter and a Sabotage back into the deck, but it also now means that we can get like that Sivir back from the disc or from the trash pile. Even this turn, like we can send the Dead Bloom. Oh, and we have the challenge too.
Oh, and the Echo gets right off the board. 20 Thunder 3 is truly not letting Emotempest play Riftbound right now.
Yeah.
Just absolute denial. And so with that immediate conquer from the Dead Bloom Predator, we're going to see a champion come back. But we're going to trigger that Aurora first. The Dead Bloom Predator is going to come out to play yet again.
We didn't use the last rights. We had the Sivir in the trash. I thought we were going to send out the Sivir and then just score another point, but instead saving the resource.
Okay. I respect it because you do have to, isn't it discard too? Or you have to...
That's the equip cost of last rights. You just have to pay the cost of the unit in the discard that you're playing. So there was an option for 20 Thunder 3 to do it. But again, just choosing instead to keep it in there because now you have the option to do it later potentially. You hold, you can do it now. And here we go.
And boom, there she is. Sivir coming right back out. So we're just going to exhaust those runes. And she's played to base. All right.
Counting up. That's not a very big Ornn. That's 2. That's 8.
We have another challenge. We have another challenge.
That is
Ornn going to die immediately. Holy moly! 20 Thunder 3. This denial tech is insane, and now we're going in to score another point on the other battlefield. We're going up to 6.
You know, sometimes your opponent just has all 3 challenges. And, you know, you can't really do anything about that. You can't really necessarily account for that. You just got to play with the cards that your deck gives you. And now another Mind Splitter. Oh, yeah. I like this a lot. A lot of people will be like, oh, Time Splitter's like a game-winning card. He's at 2 points. Just take the unit. Like, that Thousand Tail's the only thing that Emotempest can play with. And at this point, the wheels have completely fallen off. They've rolled half a mile away. The car has not moved for 3 turns. Emotempest has been stuck at 2 points since his 2nd turn. Or 3rd turn, or very early into the game. And, oh, wait, this is actually, I think he drew a Bella's Breath. So we can Imperial Decree and at least clear some of the field.
Uh-oh.
But, like, I think that's it. Like, that's the only 2 cards, right?
Right. He doesn't have much
other than
else
Time
to give here. We're going to see. Okay. So we're exhausting here. We're recycling.
So we used the Imperial Decree, and now we're Bella's
There it
Breath.
is.
Yeah,
Okay.
So they're just kind of talking through it before playing the card, but we knew it was coming. You have to pay the deflect cost on the Dead Bloom Predator, so we're going to spend a gold gear for that, and then still recycle the 2 Calm runes, or Mind runes rather, for the power cost of the repeated Bellows Breath. It's a really solid combo. Imperial Decree says that anytime a unit takes damage this turn, it dies, and Bellows Breath just snipes 1 damage to a bunch of things. 3 in a location, but then you can cast it twice to hit 2 different locations. That's what Emotempest just did there. Did not get him out of the hole. I mean, like, you're still in a really tough spot, and I'm expecting another Mind Splitter off of this Dazzling Aurora to get rid of that Time Warp in hand anyway.
Absolutely. And 20 Thunder 3 is going to go ahead and score that 7th point. All runes are up, so we're going to see. Oh, we're getting a damage counter ready. Mind Splitter.
So we equipped the last rights to him, recycling 2 more units. It looked like he was moving it around. I think it was just to get the equipment on. And
gotcha.
Mind Splitter in hand. So we're not even waiting on the Dazzling Aurora. We put 2 units back. Emotempest is going to be on the draw with just a World Atlas on the field, staring down 3 big units from the Dazzling Aurora.
Yes.
I don't see a possible world where you can come back from this.
And
you just got to say, well done from 20 Thunder 3. He played this very, very smart. Yep, there we go.
And that is going to be it. 20 Thunder 3 is going to take this round 2 win at 8 points versus the Renata. Love to see the first Sivir win.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for many more.
And again, I was excited to see the Renata, but we saw the weakness of the deck. If you don't get off the ground, if you don't get to that, within 3 points of the victory and get those gold gears, like, you kind of need ideal conditions for the deck to shine, and you're not always given ideal conditions. 20 Thunder 3 played that early game immaculately, playing the early Sivir control, and then still ramping up to that early Aurora. I liked that play of committing the Sivir early. I was kind of giving the highlight of, like, sometimes it's scary to do that, but that was the instance where it's the right time to do that, and I think that the best players in the game, they know when to pivot. They know when it's like, okay, here's the default line and the safe line, but then here's the line that I know I'm allowed to get away with right now given the current game state, especially with all, like, the information from the sabotages that he was getting.
Absolutely. It just shows pure skill and pure knowledge of his entire deck, knowing exactly what's coming, what the line is, and what not to pass over.
And again, it's those things where it's like, I always like to remind people I'm a caster, right? There's a reason I'm here, and a lot of the players are out there.
Yeah.
It's because often I know, like, one of my weaknesses is I'm not one of the most patient players. I often like to go for the aggressive play and be like, I feel the pressure of the moment. I feel like they don't have the out. I'm just going to play around like as if they don't. But sometimes, you get punished for that. But then, again, the best players, like, we saw patient play, we saw the aggressive play, and that ability to pivot between the two is really the differentiator between, like, the strong competitors and the folks that, are just trying to make the day 2. That the day 2 versus the push for the top 8 is a very different kind of, like, tier, and who knows how far this Sivir player is going to be able to go, but, like, I was very impressed with the play that I was seeing there. Also, I gotta say, heart goes out to the Renata player. Again, sometimes your opponent just sees the 3 challenges, and, like, what are you gonna do about that when they just have the 3 outs to your units?
Honestly, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. Like, it's still a TCG. You gotta, if you don't get your draw, if you don't get the right cards, it's unfortunate.
We saw 2 Cold a week, Hidden Blade, the Imperial Decree. Like, theoretically, the Renata had all the gas, but never saw the units. So you didn't get to the point. You weren't scoring. Like, you weren't actually doing anything. Even though you were kind of controlling the early game, Dazzling Aurora is inevitable. Like, every turn, there's something coming down, let alone if they get 2, and then the last raids came out, and, like, you could see it got out of control.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and talk to 20 Thunder 3, or as we like to call him, 60 Thunder.
Which one?
With Barrett.
I'm here. Thanks so much for pitching it over. I'm here with 20 Thunder 3 after that incredible victory over a Renata Glasc deck that, I'll be honest, it was looking a little weird for some of those games, but you really did solidify and show us that Dazzling Aurora still has a home here in the format. You're now 2-0. Why Dazzling this weekend?
Well, we saw that it had a pretty middling results from last weekend, but I've been playing this for 2 months. I thought the deck was fine, saw the results, and then Sivir is on the downtick, which means more shots at a metal card, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
I was already going to play it, so might as well keep playing it.
So that's kind of my next question is because I look at Sivir, and you see that kind of representation, but you also have a choice of doing something like Misfortune. So is there, like, a specific choice there on which one?
Yeah, so with Sivir, you get, like, the Treasure Trove package works well with the Legend, obviously, but the Gold can let you go up the chain, like Mind Splitter, Dead Bloom, Aurora, Curve, while still keeping up on your rune count because they both cost double power. You just get a rebate on the Gold, which I think is important for the deck.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's a key moment in Game 3 that I kind of want to talk about. You played a pretty tempo-based Sivir early on, and it got you on the board, exactly what you just described, one of the benefits of that deck versus things like Misfortune. But then it led into that first Dazzling Aurora coming down pretty on time, I would say. And then the first unit being the Mind Splitter. And out of the cards that we kind of saw, there was things like Imperial Decree, we saw the Thousand-Tailed Watcher, and then you chose that Salvage, of course. That was a pretty pivotal moment there because that Salvage could have easily threatened the Dazzling Aurora that you spent all this early game creating. Do you think that's like a no-brainer kind of decision there? Or are you afraid of these like things like Watcher coming down and maybe disrupting all their units?
Yeah, so most of the units, they just like take a card and then take another card with them on the way out. It doesn't really matter if you trade with cards. Something's got to die, basically. But the Salvage will kill the only thing that has me actually in crewing advantage. Otherwise, we kind of just fall behind eventually. Maybe he draws an Ornn, gets an Atlas attached to it, and I just can't get it off the table. It's basically my thought process.
100%. And then, as a fun little last question, I want to go back to game one. I mean, you won the match, okay? In hindsight, you won the match, but man, oh man, that feeling of dread when you literally look across the board, there's just some little guys, and you go, oh, I'm out of units, and there's no way to bring them back. I just want to spitball a number for me. How often does that usually happen against these like order hard removal decks?
So that game, I had the last Dead Bloom in my hand, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I was just waiting to play it till I had a last rights to recycle units back in, kind of get back in the game that way. Didn't happen, so I mean, what are you gonna do about it? But that's kind of the thing. You always save one unit. Usually that's Sivir, but I needed the accelerate unit on several turns earlier. That's how the game plays out, basically.
100%, and it still played out well for you in games 2 and game 3. So 20 Thunder 3, you're moving on 2-0 in the tournament. I wish you luck for the rest of the day. We're going to send it back to the desk.